Before the imposition of language bans, indigenous communities thrived with languages deeply intertwined with their identity. In these societies, oral traditions, songs, and daily communication preserved centuries of knowledge and cultural values. Children learned their ancestral tongues naturally, ensuring continuity. This scene captures the richness of a world where language was not just a tool, but the soul of a people. The arrival of colonial powers marks the beginning of a deliberate campaign to sever this connection. The enforcement of language prohibition policies was swift and brutal. Schools became battlegrounds where children were punished for speaking their mother tongue, often through physical or psychological humiliation. Elders, once revered, were marginalized as their knowledge was deemed backward. This was not assimilation. It was a calculated effort to erase cultural identity. The policies explicitly targeted the roots of these communities, leaving no room for bilingualism or cultural compromise. The psychological toll of language bans became evident as generations grew apart. Parents whispered their native tongue at home, fearing punishment, while children associated it with shame and inferiority. The intergenerational transmission of language, and thus culture, was deliberately severed. This was not accidental. It was the intended outcome of policies designed to dismantle identity. The once unbroken chain of knowledge was now fractured, leaving gaps that would never fully heal. With each passing elder, entire languages vanished. The death of the last fluent speaker of a language marked the irreversible loss of cultural memory. Untranslated stories, rituals, and wisdom were lost forever, leaving descendants with only fragments. This was not natural evolution, but the direct consequence of systematic erasure. The ashes of burned dictionaries symbolized the finality of this cultural genocide, a silence that could never be undone. Today, descendants strive to reclaim what was lost, but the gaps remain. Rituals are performed without understanding the words. Songs are hummed without knowing their meaning. The circle is broken, and the vibrancy of scene one is now a blurred memory. Language prohibition did not assimilate, it erased. Yet, in these echoes, there is resistance. Communities are piecing together fragments, not to restore what was, but to honor what was taken.